Welcome, Capricorn. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, and I've pulled for you the 10 of Pentacles as your overall energy for this full moon in Libra. The 10 of Pentacles, as many of you know, is usually talking about legacy. And depending on your stability and security, Capricorns are often known to be both stable and financially secure, economically independent. You are looking for a way to give back out of the productivity and prosperity you've earned through work that you have accomplished, achieved. This has an additional meaning for those of you, the many Capricorns, who are not financially secure or stable, that instead are quantifying their many other talents, gifts, and knowledge bases, so that similarly they can produce something that will help others to gain the kinds of access and privilege they are fully aware that they have had. Everyone's evaluation of abundance may be different, but you've learned through your various experiences that you are rich, you are abundant, and that you have learned much that could be of help to others. In fact, many of you are teachers or educators in some capacity. Many of you may work one-on-one in a way that is challenging you to think of how you can have the impact, social impact that you would like, how to share what you've learned, what you're thinking, what you know with others in a much more substantial way, particularly in a time when we're all being called upon to look at our resources and our stability in new ways, to honor that in new ways. And despite whatever hardships you may have incurred along the path of your achievement, you understand that abundance is far more substantial at a material, spiritual, and intellectual way than the way that we often value it in our various cultural settings. So you are insistent that what you know can lead others to a similar kind of abundance, and how you're accomplishing that is not only changing as we speak, but intended to have a significant impact. This is a general reading, Capricorn. As most of you know, it is not going to resonate for all of you. If you're interested in a personal reading, information for that is in the description box below. I value and appreciate all of you who are spending your valuable time with me. I appreciate all the support that you give me. And so the way that others see you, the way you identify your place in the world, Ace of Cups, what could be more abundant and beautiful than that? I'm speaking to the artists, the creatives amongst you today. I do believe that this urge to create, to build, to make something out of whatever you have goes back a very, very long way. I'm speaking to those of you that have been reincarnated specifically for purposes of this life from an ancient, very ancient civilization or society of millennia ago. And this is really what is informing this masterful urge to have a creative impact on your environment. This comes from a long history of understanding that you are gifted for the purpose of improving the lives of others. That gift brings you joy. It fulfills you. It allows you to imagine, plan, to create, to validate your emotions and feelings. So this is about some kind of an accomplishment or creation that adjusts our feeling states, makes us feel full, makes us feel rich, makes us feel abundant, makes us feel loving and loved. There's not a lot more I can say about that, except many of you have a clue as to where this ancestral information is coming from, where this past life experience comes from. You may be familiar with some of your experiences in your former life, where you also had a major impact on the material stability and security of others. In the first house, the Hierophant, this is absolutely talking about your alignment with some institution. This can be about certainly the institution of education, but this also feels as though you're coming from another religious tradition, a social order in which religion was the primary and central pillar of any achievement, and that therefore the connection to deity, to divine guidance, to the song of the universe was most clearly communicated to and through you. And your responsibility as a result of the weight of knowledge that you held, you understood was meant to be facilitated by you for the benefit of others. So whatever role or knowledge you had in the past, you also taught and instructed that. You may have done that at a grand scale, but that memory is actually motivating the way that you are divining a creative opportunity in this particular moment. In the fourth house, this is your domestic environment, your home, your family, your roots. The Queen of Swords shows a facility that you have for communication. It isn't the kind of communication where you talk. It's the kind of communication where you listen. And I'm getting High Priestess vibes here, where you are a challenger of others' assumptions as you have learned to challenge your own. You've learned to understand how to go deep, how to pinpoint those behaviors or patterns or ways of engagement that are symptomatic of something deeper, some shame, some wound. And in the purging of that, in the exploration of that, almost like an exhumation, you have had your sense of reality, your sense of truth and justice challenged. And this is a skill set that you now bring to everything you do. This almost feels like a critical thinking toolbox that comes across as challenging, as iconoclastic, as maverick, but you have a gift for seeing the flaws in the way that others think. But rather than deliver a critique, you know how to ask critical questions. You know how to conduct an inquiry, a path of inquiry that allows someone else to use you as a sounding board. And so this is the skill of a good therapist or a good teacher, to actually allow others to articulate their positions and then to ask questions that will lead them to a greater development of their ideas, but never denying them the authorship of their ideas. This is perhaps one of the ways that you're finding how to develop the gift, the talent, the knowledge that you want to share with others. This may be a clue into how you perform that work. And in the 7th house, 2 cards came out, the 5 of Wands and the 6 of Pentacles. Interesting because they're numerically significant. The second 5 I'll take up first. 5s are always about changing. They're always about facilitating change. And so here you have perfected a way of working with others as part of a team. That absolutely is part of how you identify yourself as being in your comfort zone. This is where you are able to own your own expertise and recognize the expertise of others towards the solution of a problem or the creation of something, the building of something in a way that allows everyone to participate from a place of teaching their strength, helping others to understand an idea from their expertise, and also learning, sitting back and allowing another expert to guide the process of collaboration. So you're already in the place of co-creation. You have no need or interest in taking credit for a good idea, but rather that all the parts of a team work together to lift up that good idea, that good practice, that good creation or building. The 6 of Pentacles is a beautiful way that shows me you have learned how to build agreements with others. And this is in every area of your life. In fact, it almost feels as though in your significant relationships, you've always privileged being a friend, a colleague, a team player, a collaborator. And now through that process, you've learned how to actually ask for what you want. And I see this as something that has been challenging for you and something that is part of the birth of this new skill, talent, desire to build something for others that is orchestrating all of your relationships, particularly those with partners of any sort, so that you understand by saying what you desire, you set the stage for potentially successful collaborations. You check in with those relationships on a regular basis because here we have the emblems of justice. You check in as things shift, you check back in. You understand that you're only facilitating the distribution of work or resources, that you don't own them, and that you are understanding at every stage of a relationship or the work that the relationship facilitates, that you are merely managing resources that others similarly can manage. So this makes your understanding of agreements and contracts healthy, ongoing, as part of a process of sharing what you've learned, what you know, as you grow. This is such beautiful energy for balancing the tremendous wealth of your knowledge and experience from past lives. If this reading is resonating for you, Capricorn, please like this video, share it with others if you feel inclined to do so, and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. And I pull the blame card. I accept responsibility for my well-being. This is particularly interesting because my story, the story that I'm hearing is that coming into this life with so much knowledge, so many skills, so much experience, having built up significant things, having created significant things on behalf of others, perhaps inclined you as a young person to see your role assignment as a burden, as the limitations that others placed upon you, the responsibilities you were given as being limiting to your ability to express yourself, to enjoy life. And in fact, that has morphed into an understanding that your responsibilities were given to you because of the level of your skills, of your gifts, of your talents. And understanding that, you have owned your place in the social order, wherever that is, and you understand that you are creating the success, the joy, the stability that you want by exercising your bountiful, boundless imagination. And that imagination helps to support the experience that you've had in other lifetimes. Though that imagining, that dreaming has what has kept you connected, because I'm willing to bet that many of you have the same dreams, the same kinds of affiliations that you had as a child. And by affiliations, I mean your relationships to spiritual energies, other entities, other forms of life, other forms of spiritual life from other places or locations in the world, other cultures. Those all are purposeful. They're all about reminding you. They're links to your memory. And so this is important for you because the Capricorns I'm speaking to dream incessantly. You may not always remember your sleeping dreams, but if you are conscious, if you practice any kind of journaling or meditation, you will find you're able to retrieve experiences in your dream life, pluck useful information, a tool, a quotation, a relationship, an exchange that helps you. And this is important because dreaming becomes your vehicle to your greatest impact on the culture, on your location, on your community. I'm going to clarify the Hierophant in the first house with the Chariot card. Yes, interesting how the idea of responsibility now is is very complex in your experience as a Capricorn sun. Whatever your placement in Capricorn is irrelevant. Whether you're a Capricorn at all is not even relevant to this reading. This is about your understanding that although you have been tasked with responsibilities for others, have skills to help others, to fix things for others, that is not your job. And that has been part of your accepting your yearning for something else. You're yearning for something more than the run-of-the-mill obligations to provide for X, Y, and Z. May be for some of you not at all attractive, never attractive. However, this greater acceptance, this need to no longer fit the mold, your uniqueness, that acceptance of yourself, of this phenomenal capacity to see and hear and experience things others appear not to, is helping you to move more clearly on towards your goal. You're making the space. You're no longer taking up the jobs, the roles, the responsibilities that others can do for themselves. Instead, you're focused on your goal. You're making space to exercise your talent. For some of you, it is straight up about making art. Whether you are an artist or not, you are creative in whatever realm you exist or labor in. Everything about putting your life together for all people is creative. We all are creative and all capable of the ability to put things together in our own unique way. This is what's being honored. This is what you're honoring in yourself. The Queen of Swords in the fourth house is being clarified by the Eight of Pentacles. And this is interesting because, wow, you have worked so hard all your life. I feel like for many of you, you've worked hard to understand your relationships with family matters. Perhaps some of you have inherited a substantial largesse from family, or you've inherited an incredible work ethic, a skill set, a professional path that has earned you the skill set needed to build anything in a practical way, in a long-term way, in a way that desires to build something that is stable, that will benefit for the long term. You've done that for others. You've helped others to become successful. You've built things for others, but now is an opportunity to build something for yourself, something that facilitates your best talent. And again, this talent feels as though it comes in the form of supporting the thinking of others, supporting a way to challenge the assumptions of the culture, of the community, of the world, opening up to a new landscape of feeling blessed, feeling loved, feeling abundant, being cared for, a new way of making that the assumption of our planet rather than the assumption of material gain. In the seventh house of your significant others, we have the Three of Wands, and Virgo got this in the same position. This is about how you are using your interaction with others, with your community, with your allies, co-creators, collaborators, to set up this new opportunity for yourself, where you are learning that accepting and saying yes to what is being given to you. This can be a hard thing for Capricorns. It's just built into the landscape that you do for yourself. If anything, you do for others. But allowing others to connect you with people, to network, to be invited to places and to go, to enjoy company, to engage in exchanges that spark the interest of others, that demonstrate your willingness to look out into unfamiliar communities that are not close at hand and make an impact, to extend what you know, what you're interested in doing to other communities. This is about setting up this opportunity in a way that is practical, but allows others to gift you. And this is part of learning about accepting responsibility for your reality. It doesn't mean that everything has to be done by you. It means that you have to be open to receiving. And in the 10th house, the Ace of Cups is clarified by the Page of Pentacles. And boy, this couldn't be more Capricorn-like. The Page of Pentacles really shows that in order to maximize the potential, your own creative and imaginative potential, you're willing to do whatever it takes. You're standing back, you're planning, you're creating a plan. If that plan is not whole, fully blown, that's even better, because you're merely looking at the next step. One step at a time, you're pacing yourself at your own level. You're not allowing yourself to be rushed or pushed or influenced by anyone to do anything differently. You already know what you're doing, and you're open to interaction with others that can help to fuel your interest and ideas, fuel your imagination. This really is about inhabiting this vision with your intention to love and be loved. I'm going to finish up this reading with a crystal oracle. And so, Amazonite is the key word of this beautiful gem is life purpose. I'm fully aligned to and living my life purpose. This is perfect. If you've enjoyed this content, Capricorn, check this out. And until next time, namaste.